Hey guys, welcome back to the Silver Motion. I recently had the chance to hit the theaters pretty much back to back, 1 week after the other, to watch two new horror movies. Today we have a movie battle in our hands. They're both horror movies, and while they're similar in many ways, they're very different in other ways. Since these two movies are brand new, I'll go ahead and try to keep the spoilers to a minimum for you guys. And I'll go ahead and just get it out of the way and let you know that I didn't love neither of these movies. Both came with some pretty solid premises, and I was kind of hyped for both movies. And I hate to say that overall, they missed the mark for me. With that said, I did enjoy them enough to give them some thinking and see which one I liked more. Now, we're going to keep the whole battle and the point system as simple as possible. From 1 to 5 stars, round 1, tone and atmosphere, round 2, acting, round 3, dialogue, round 4, effects, and round 5, overall feel. From number 1 to number 4, the rounds are pretty self-explanatory, but I just wanted to let you know what I mean when I say overall feel. The overall feel is, without thinking twice, which movie do you feel is a better movie? I'll give you a quick example. Without thinking twice, if I were to watch Braveheart and then Transformers, my overall feel tells me that Braveheart is the better movie. Now, with that out of the way, let's get to the battle. Round 1, tone and atmosphere. I believe this is probably where both movies fail the most, in my opinion. The Pope's Exorcist really struggles to find what kind of movie it wants to be. At times it feels like this solid horror drama in the vein of something like The Conjuring, for example. But other times it feels so flat, it gets much closer to something like The Nun. Man, the movie was just garbage. And unfortunately, at the end of the movie, it just falls closer to the latter than something great like The Conjuring. Now, Evil Dead Rising finds itself caught up in this weird spot between the Evil Dead remake, which was such a dark and brutal movie. Side note, if you're looking for a good horror movie that knows how to combine supernatural elements with gore, demons, psychological horror, suspense, you name it. Almost any horror element can be found in the 2013 Evil Dead remake. I highly recommend that movie. But coming back to Evil Dead Rising, sometimes it felt like that, and sometimes it felt way more in the style of the original, like more Sam Raimi, if you may. Like a rated R Drag Me to Hell, but unfortunately the humor and lighthearted moments in this one didn't land for me. That's not to say I didn't laugh at all. There was some good moments. I'm just saying that in my personal opinion, they were trying to find the sweet spot right in between the original and the remake. And while I believe that sweet spot exists, it might be achieved someday, this wasn't it. So round 1 results.
The Pope's Exorcist, 1.5 stars. Evil Dead Rising, 2 stars.
Round 2, acting. I truly have nothing against the acting from any of these performers. There was really nobody who stood out to me in a bad way, and it feels like everyone did their best, or the best they could with the material they were given. But when it comes to who stood out from a positive perspective, well, I gotta say Russell Crowe really keeps the Pope's Exorcist from being almost a total disaster. You can tell the guy is not only having fun with the character, he cares about representing the real-life figure of Father Gabriel to the best of his abilities. And man, I don't know how that Italian sounds from the perspective of an Italian. Please, if we have any Italian viewers, just let us know in the comments how you feel about that accent. But from my personal perspective, the guy sounded as Italian as they come. Round 2 results.
The Pope's Exorcist, 3.5 stars. Evil Dead, 3 stars.
Now, round 3, dialogue. This will be another short and to the point round. What do I look for in dialogue? I want to hear some memorable shit. Some lines that stick with you, and unfortunately for the Pope's Exorcist, there aren't any, except the cuckoo that he does, and honestly, that ain't much. Again, it was his delivery more than the dialogue that made him push the movie above Evil Dead Rising in the last round. Evil Dead Rising has some really cool and horrifying lines when you put them in context. Most of them you might have heard in the trailer because, of course, they have to put the best shit in the trailer. We already know how that works.
Not now. You don't look so good, Mom. Nothing a big old kiss from you won't fix. Mom? Mommy's with the maggots now.
These are truly intense lines when you put them in the context of the movie, and for those of you who are horror movie newbies, I am 100% sure they'll haunt you for a while. Because of that, these round results are:
The Pope's Exorcist, 2 stars. Evil Dead Rising, 3 stars.
Now, moving on to the championship rounds. Round 4, effects. Something to keep in mind for this round is that both movies have a pretty similar budget, between $15 and $20 million, so it really comes down to how that budget was used and which movie did the best they could with the money that was allocated to the special effects. When it comes to the Pope's Exorcist, the special effects are cool. The CGI and makeup, they both look decent, but there's really nothing that jumps out and makes you go like, simply put, it's done correctly for what it is. Now, when it comes to Evil Dead Rising, man, you can really tell some tremendous amount of love and care for their craft was put into this movie. Most of the time, you can tell if it's a practical effect or if it's CGI. It's just grotesque. Some moments are very disturbing, and the theater, there were plenty of times we all went like, holy moly. Some truly disturbing, bloody shit takes place, and it is done so well and so real that you can almost feel some of those moments. Round 4 results.
The Pope's Exorcist, 2 stars. Evil Dead Rising, 4 stars.
Alright family, here we go with the final round and the results for this movie battle. Round 5, overall feel. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, both movies left me a bit disappointed, and I hate to say it, I won't be rewatching them anytime soon, but the overall feel tells me that if I had to pick one movie to watch again today, or which movie do I feel I'm probably going to watch again sooner than the other, there's no doubt it's going to be Evil Dead Rising. It is the one I recommend you spend your money on if you're a horror movie fan. Also, you can definitely watch Evil Dead Rising as a standalone movie, and yeah, you truly don't have to watch the other Evil Dead movies to go watch this one. I truly want to make sure that you know that I didn't hate these movies, I simply was expecting more out of them. Round 5 results.
The Pope's Exorcist, 2 stars. Evil Dead Rising, 3 stars.
With a final average score of 2.2 stars for The Pope's Exorcist and 3 stars for Evil Dead Rising. Alright guys, I really hope you enjoyed this battle and that maybe my opinion helps you make the decision if you're in between just trying to decide which movie you want to go to the theaters to watch. Also, if you've watched both movies, just let me know your score. Let me know what you thought about them, which one you like best, and we can get a conversation going in the comments. Again, guys, this is the Silver Motion. Thank you so much for stopping by. I will see you on the next one.